The ballroom was drowning in gold-light crystal chandeliers, raining sparkles over rows of white roses and guests dressed like royalty. Cameras flashed from every corner, violins sang, and all eyes were on the groom. Nathan Cole, the tech prodigy who'd turned a college project into a billion-dollar empire. He stood tall in a crisp white agbada with a red cap, fingers laced with his new bride Sophia. Their smiles were the kind meant for magazine covers, until the doors creaked open. She stepped in small, thin, wearing a faded blue dress, stained at the hem hair streaked with gray, leaning on a wooden cane that tapped against the marble like a clock counting down. A ripple ran through the crowd. Some people laughed. Others covered their noses as if she brought the smell of the streets in with her. But she didn't look at them. Her eyes locked on Nathan, steady and searching. Nathan. Her voice was soft, but carried across the hall. "It's me, your mother." The violins died mid-note. A camera slipped from a photographer's hand. Sophia's smile cracked. Nathan froze his jaw tight, and for a beat, you could feel the whole room holding its breath. The woman didn't bow, didn't look away. She took one step closer. Nathan pulled his hand from Sophia's and exhaled slow, the way a blacksmith cools hot iron. Then, cold as marble, he said to the guards, "Take her out. She doesn't belong here." Gasps rolled through the crowd. Sir, one guard asked, almost unsure. Nathan's eyes cut sharp. "Now." He turned to the guests with a polite smile that didn't reach his eyes. "Sorry for the interruption." Two men in black suits stepped forward, but she held up her hands. "Nathan, I raised you with these. Don't do this to me." Her voice cracked, but he didn't flinch. They lifted her by the arms, her feet leaving the floor. As they carried her out, she called over their shoulders louder now. "If I'm lying, let shame follow me. But if I'm telling the truth, the pain you give me today will come back to you in ways you can't imagine." Outside sunlight cut hard across the pavement. She swayed but didn't fall when they set her down. She gripped her cane, nodded once to herself, and stepped into the street without seeing the black SUV come in fast. The horn blared, brakes screamed, and her cane flew from her hand like a thin, brown bird. Shouts, footsteps, the smell of burned rubber. "Call an ambulance," someone yelled. Her chest rose once, twice, like a small wave fighting to reach shore. Inside, the music started again, pretending nothing had happened. At the hospital, the air smelled of antiseptic and quiet hope. Nurses moved quickly. A doctor checked her slow heartbeat. One nurse leaned close. "Mama, do you want to send a message? I can record it." Her eyes fluttered. Her voice was barely a breath. "Tell my son. I forgave him the day I chose him. Tell him I waited every night. Tell him love kept me, and love will judge him if he throws it away." 2 days later, they buried her in a small cemetery behind a church. No headstone, just a wooden cane pressed into the soil by a neighbor who whispered, "She stood on this. Now we stand on her memory." Nathan didn't come, didn't send flowers, but the video of her last words leaked online side by side with the wedding clip. And the internet didn't forget. A month later, Nathan woke to a house missing more than just warmth. Sophia was gone. Her clothes, her jewelry, the white SUV, and millions from both his personal and company accounts. She'd sold properties, drained funds, and left a neat trail pointing straight to him. The knock on the door wasn't gentle. Economic and Financial Crimes Unit. "Nathan Cole, open up." Minutes later, handcuffs bit into his wrists. Cameras flashed, neighbors whispered. The curse of a mother is heavy. In court, the evidence was stacked high. offshore transfers, fraud complaints. His own signature on every document forged, he swore, but Sophia had been careful. The judge's gavel came down with 10 years in prison. His empire was seized, his name dragged through every headline. Prison stripped him of everything, his tailored suits, his private jet, even the way people looked at him. Some inmates laughed at the fall of the Banana Island prince. Others just muttered, "A mother's curse doesn't miss." 5 years in Hope came wearing a navy suit and carrying a briefcase. His lawyer, Clemens, slid a file across the table. "We found her fingerprints on every transaction, staff statements, system logs. It was Sophia all along. It took 6 more months, but Nathan walked out free. The sky felt bigger, the air sharper. But freedom without direction is another kind of prison. No company, no friends, no home. And the one person who might have forgiven him was gone." Then Clemens sent him an envelope. Inside a letter his mother had left before she died. Her handwriting was neat, careful. "My son, if you're reading this, I'm gone. I loved you more than my own happiness. But love isn't a shield against pride. The day you turned me away, I didn't curse you from hate, but from the pain of being forgotten. If that pain has found you, I hope it's not to destroy you, but to change you. Be the man I prayed for, not rich, but with a heart that remembers where it came from. Forgive yourself, and make right what you can." He read it until the words blurred. That afternoon, he walked into a small church, found the pastor, and said, "I want to help. I can teach computers." It wasn't a tech empire, just 5 old desktops and a group of wide-eyed teenagers. But when he stood in front of them, he remembered the day his mother gave him his first battered laptop, smiling like she'd handed him the moon. Months passed. The program grew. Local shops donated newer computers. Kids started freelancing. One even got a scholarship. People in the neighborhood began to see Nathan not as the disgraced billionaire, but as the man giving their kids a future. One evening, an old neighbor brought him a bundle wrapped in cloth. Inside was his mother's cane. "She would want you to have it," she said. He traced the smooth wood where her hands had once gripped it, feeling the grooves like a map back to who he should have been all along. The curse hadn't destroyed him. It had stripped away everything false, leaving only what was real. And though he'd never again be the man on magazine covers, Nathan finally understood the kind of wealth his mother had been trying to give him, the kind no one can steal. Now, every morning, he sees that cane in the corner and makes her the same promise she once made him. "I will not forget you." What about you? Was the mother right to say what she did, or was it a curse she should have never spoken? And do you believe life has a way of bringing pain back to those who cause it? Tell me where you stand in the comments. I want to hear your story.